Hey you guys, in this video we're going to draw a terrier. I hope you're going to follow along with me. Let's get started. First I want to give you a quick preview of how our terrier drawing turned out. And it looks so cool. I hope you're excited to follow along with me. Remember, don't worry about making your drawings look exactly like mine. The most important thing is to have fun and practice. Now for this lesson, I'm using a pencil to first draw the main shapes. That makes this lesson a little more challenging, but we're going to take it one step at a time, so don't worry. Then we're also using our markers to draw in color with at the very end. And because I'm using markers, I'm also using marker paper to draw on. That protects my table and also keeps the markers lasting much longer than using regular printer paper. And if you want to match my same coloring, the best way to do that is to have a little swatch page like this. I use this to pick my colors, and you can put it up to the TV or the screen and use your swatch page to match what colors I'm using for the supplies that you have. So if you're using colored pencils, you can match the colors this way, or if you have a different marker set and you have different colors, you can pick something that's similar to what I'm using. Let's first use our pencil to draw a circle for our dog's head. I'm going to draw this big, and don't worry about making these lines look perfect. It's okay if they're bumpy and messy because we're just trying to get guidelines to get the main shapes just the way that we want them. Now we went over it a couple times. I also have some extra lines. I'm going to use my eraser to just pick the lines I want to keep. Now let's draw the body for our little dog, our little puppy. I'm going to draw two lines coming down on both sides. And then we're going to curve around. Oh, we've got a little wobbly. We're going to curve around and connect to the other side. So we got this little square U shape. Oh, let's also add ears. I'm going to draw a line coming out on both sides, try to match, and then a curve coming back down. We got the curve coming out and back down. So we have this curved upside down letter V. Also remember to pause the video during any part of this lesson. If I go too fast, if you need extra time to get these shapes just the way you want them, maybe you want to spend a little more time and get the head a little bit bigger or smaller. You could also make your dog taller. You could also pause the video to add more details. Maybe you also want to pause the video to draw a background. Let's do one more thing before we switch to our marker. We're going to draw the snout for a little terrier. We're going to draw an upside down letter U at the bottom. There we go. Now we're ready to switch to our marker. Let's first work on our little puppy's face. I'm going to start here, and we're going to draw the top of the nose right at the top of the snout. And then we're going to curve around for the bottom of the nose and then connect on the other side. Then we can draw the mouth. I'm going to draw a letter U and another letter U going the other way. And then we can color in the nose too. Now let's draw the eyes. I'm going to draw a big circle for one eye, and then the same size circle over here on the other side. And then we can also draw the little highlight. Let's change the highlight and draw them. It kind of looks like our puppy's cross-eyed, but we're going to color in the big circle and leave the little circle white. This is the highlight or the reflection to make the eyes look shiny. Usually we have the highlight in the same spot, but I think this was fun to change and have them pointing towards the middle. Okay, now let's draw our little puppy's head and draw the fur for our terrier. We can start here and draw a little fur sticking out of the top. So I'm going to draw a curved upside down V going to the left and then also to the right. Let's draw one more and then we'll connect back to the pencil. Okay, now let's draw over the pencil connecting to the ear. Then we can trace over the pencil line for the ear. We'll draw the left side first, and before we get all the way down, I'm going to add a little bit of fur on the bottom of the ear. We'll come back to the circle, and then let's draw fur coming out of the side of our little dog's head. And this is where the guideline comes in handy because we're going to come back to the circle, but we're going to draw the fur coming outside of the circle. So I'm going to draw S curving out. We'll come back in to the circle. We'll come back down, back to the circle. Let's do another one, and then we'll stop there. We could let's add one more little one. Okay, now let's repeat that over here on this side. We'll first trace over the ear. Then before we get to the bottom, I almost forgot, let's add some fur. Then we'll come out and down, back to the circle. Then we'll draw the S curve coming down, back in. We'll draw some fur. It's not exactly the same on both sides, but that's okay. And then right here for the chin, we'll connect by tracing over the pencil. Now, before we erase these pencil lines, let's use them one more time. We're going to draw the inside of the ear. We'll come down, and then we'll trace over the pencil, but stop there. We could also add a little line inside. Let's do the same thing over here. We'll try to measure this same distance over here. I kind of drew on my ear. That's okay. We're going to color over it. And I'm going to trace this down a little further so that it matches. And then we'll draw the inside of the ear. Oh, before we erase, let's draw one more line. We're going to go over the pencil for the snout, but I'm not going to connect all the way to the circle. We'll just leave it there. Okay, now let's switch to our eraser and erase all of the pencil lines that we can still see, but just for the head. With the pencil guidelines erased, I love that it still looks like a circle, even though we have all of these zigzags for the fur and also the ears. The main shape of our head is a circle. Okay, now let's switch to the body and also the legs. Let's start down here, and we're going to draw the first leg. We're going to come down and stop right above the pencil. And we'll do the same thing. We'll measure with our eyes this distance, and then we'll try to create that same line over here. Then we're going to draw the paw coming out and down. Then we're going to come in and we'll stop at the pencil. Let's try to do that same shape over here. It's okay if it's different. Then we're going to go up from here. We'll come up for the leg on both sides. Let's add a little curve for the chest. And then we could also add the toe lines. 2 toe lines here and 2 to match on the other side. All right, now let's draw the body coming down, and we'll stop at the top of the front legs. Then we'll draw the hind legs or the back legs sitting down. So we're going to curve and we'll stop just above on both sides. Then we can draw the paw coming out, curving, and then into the front paw. And we'll do the same thing over here. Let's add those 2 toe lines. And then we can also draw the belly. We'll trace over the pencil line in between the 2 front legs. And then let's draw the tail. We're going to curve out from the back leg and up. And then we can curve back down. We'll add a little zigzag and then curve all the way into the leg. And we did it! We finished drawing our terrier. It looks really cool, except it's going to look even better once we color it. This part will fast forward, so remember to pause the video at the end and take time to color your drawings. You can use my drawing as inspiration, or you can color yours completely different. Okay, but before we color, also remember to use your eraser and erase the pencil lines going through the body. We did it! We finished coloring our terrier and it turned out really cool, all colored in. I hope you're going to take time to color your drawings too. You can pause the video to match my same coloring, or you could color your drawings any way you want. Remember, you could also add a background to complete your drawings. I use my markers to color with, but you can use whatever you have. You can use colored pencils, oil pastels, or even crayons. If you want to match my same coloring, I first used this light brown to color the whole thing solid. And then I used a darker brown to add a little zigzag pattern over the eyes to color in the top of the head darker. Also added a darker belly and even a different brown underneath the chin for a shadow and on the tail. You could also use a medium gray for the little shadow on the ground. And I hope you had a lot of fun following along with me. And we'll see you later, art friends. Goodbye.